to Life Groups Fall 2020. First of all, let me apologize. I didn't make a video last week. I totally forgot about it. So I'm a week behind it, you guys, but that's all right. So hopefully you'll forgive me. I know you guys are, because we are the church together. So if one body hurts, one part of the body hurts, the whole body hurts, right? So hey, today in Life Groups, we're going to talk about the second part of the we are, or you are the church, right? We are the church message. And I'm going through very similar to last week, where we're going to take some of the scriptures that we talked about and break them down a little bit and dive a little bit deeper into the scriptures. That's what Life Groups are about. It's about you and I, or you all within your life group, sitting down and discussing that and taking what you believe and based hopefully on biblical theology, what the scriptures are talking about, and talking about that, ironing, sharpening iron. So that's, again, what life groups are about. It's not about a specific teacher. It's about you and I coming together and sharpening each other. So we talked about on Sunday that you know, the idea of what the church is was 2 weeks ago. You know, it's a mystery and it's a sacred, right? And it's God's plan, right? So we kind of know what the church is in this concept. But then on Sunday, we talked about the fact that we are the church. And the first thing we talked about is what we call a secular humanism, this idea that I am my own God, or it's really about me. And what we understand is, if we really take the scriptures and we go through it, so many times we take them personally. And that's a good thing, right? Jeremiah 29:11, people take it personally. For I know the plans that I have for you, the plans for good and not for evil, right? That I have a hope. And we take that and go, man, God has a plan for me. He loves me. But what we forget to understand is, biblically, how do I take that? Well, guess what? I take that as it was Jeremiah, that God was speaking through Jeremiah to a people, to the Israelite people, for I know the plans I have for you. He's saying, he told them, hey, you all have been in exiles, but I know the plans I have for you. God is saying, I know the plans I have for all of Israel. So I hope that makes sense. And so again, sometimes it's okay to take those scriptures and make them personal, saying, well, if God has plans for the whole nation of Israel, ergo, right, then he's going to have plans for me, right? That he knows the numbers of hairs on my head, right? There's those times that we can take what was meant for our people group and apply it to ourselves. But there's also times that we need to be cautious that we don't do that. And 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16 and 17 are such a great example of that moment, where we take a plural meaning and we've attached it singular because it's all about me. And what we understand is, he talks about that you are the body of Christ, that you are the temple, was never meant to be singular, meaning that I am not the church. I am not the body of Christ. We are the body of Christ. Right? And there's a huge difference there. So I want you to take some time and really talk about that. And then in Hebrews, we talk about needy people and red flags. You know, when I say needy people, people's flags, the red flags go off. Oh, you're talking about the poor and the destitute and the drug addicts and the prostitutes and that. No, I'm talking about you and I. And I think far too often, against secular humanism, what culture has taught us to do is be self-reliant. I don't need anybody, right? I don't need anybody. I can do it on my own. Well, the church, guess what, is made up of needy people. Guess what? I need you. Can you listen to me? Please, this is Pastor James talking. I know I'm not all pretty. I got a hat on and you know, I'm in a t-shirt, right? But I want you to hear me as Pastor James, Bishop James Shulker, speaking to you right now, right? I need you. When you are missing from the church, from the Sunday morning, guess what? I feel that, because I need you, right? Do you understand that? I hope that's what I want you to talk about. Guess what? I have needs, and I know deep down inside, you need me as well. And you need those around you, right? And those of you in the life groups, you should look around, and when one of them is gone, right, from your life group, hopefully you understand, you're like, there just something was missing today, because there's a need, and I believe we need to be needed people. And lastly, and what I want you to spend the most time around, because I think hopefully the first two you guys can get that concept really quickly. I want you to talk about what it really means to be planted. What does it really mean to be planted in the body of Christ? Again, and we keep talking about the church, and I want you to get out of the this is the church and this is a steeple and open the doors and there's all the people, right? I want you to get out of that concept really quickly, because I want you to think about the body. When I say the church, I want you to think body of Christ, right? Body of Christ. All of us together, because we are the body of Christ. And so what does it mean to be really planted in the body of Christ? Psalms talks about the temple of the Lord, right? It's still talking about the body of Christ, not a physical steeple, right? It's talking about the body of Christ. And so what does it mean to really be planted in that body? What does it mean to be evergreen and durable? And am I? And are my roots, I love this, right? The steeple thing, but we're talking about the roots, right? The root system of these trees, and that when they're built up in that tree, in that formation, it's so amazing to see, because again, it's hard for the wind, the storm to pull that down. It's much easier when it's just a single tree all by itself, because it doesn't have deep roots and it's not interwoven. And I believe God is calling us, and if we've seen anything through COVID, God is calling us to be interconnected deeper than we have been before, because it was easy before, right? We saw people on Sundays and life just went on as normal. And I hope one of the things that you've been impacted by COVID, as we separated and we weren't able to see each other on every Sunday, is how much we really needed each other, and how disconnected we started to feel. And what I'm asking you to do is to find ways to interconnect again, right? COVID's made that harder. Social distancing has made that harder, right? But I believe there's still ways that you and I can naturally connect again. We can get deep rooted. So that's what I want you to spend time with tonight or today, talking about, really diving into the scriptural basis. And what I want you to really, how do I say this? Okay. I want you to be really cognizant of the fact that you and I have been hardwired by culture to think in terms of me. And I want you to really be cognizant of that fact. So when you're answering your answers, I want you to go biblical and go, okay, God means us to be in community, to be planted with one another. So love you guys. Keep praying for me. I'm praying for you as we dive into this idea of becoming the church, being connected, getting deeply rooted, and answering the question, in all honesty, am I really planted?